Is Tether about to be sanctioned by the US government, and will that ruin the bull run? Hello and welcome back. Recent news over the last couple of days brings into question the integrity of Tether, of course, one of the main ways that many people interact with crypto. Being such a large and crucial part of the crypto ecosystem, fear, uncertainty, and doubt towards Tether means fear, uncertainty, and doubt towards crypto as a whole, in particular Bitcoin. And this news was indeed market moving. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit for you and let you know it's not disastrous. But that being said, I think if we look into the weeds of this story, there are some important lessons that we can take from this and hopefully copy paste onto future scenarios like this in the future. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this was the original report that sparked this FUD. Okay, this is an article by the Wall Street Journal, that bastion of fantastic reporting in 2024. Federal investigators probe cryptocurrency firm Tether. Authorities looking at possible violations of anti-money laundering and sanctions rules. The federal government is investigating cryptocurrency company Tether for possible violations of sanctions and anti-money laundering rules, according to people familiar with the matter. A serious source there, right? People familiar with the matter. I can't actually read the rest of the article to you because it is behind a paywall and I'm not prepared to pay £5 a month to read like this, to be honest with you. The US federal government is reportedly investigating Tether, issuer of stablecoin USDT, for potential violations of anti-money laundering and sanctions laws, according to the Wall Street Journal. As the newspaper claims, federal investigators led by the US Attorney's Office in Manhattan are examining whether third parties have used Tether to fund illicit activities, although no official charges have been filed. Now, shortly after this article, we'll call it that, was published by the Wall Street Journal, Tether took to Twitter to refute some of these claims. But in case he hadn't, let's just take a quick step back and look at the background of Tether, right? And just see how we might have made our own decisions on this. So first of all, Tether is a massive company, okay? Currently controlling 75% of the stablecoin market. Last month in September, generated $400 million in revenue, reinforcing its position as the leading stablecoin issuer. So on that basis alone, you can bet that the US government has tabs on Tether and they are keeping track of what Tether's doing, okay? Bottom line being, they know what's going on at Tether and nothing is likely to come as a surprise or warrant any sort of sudden investigation. Now, second to that, Tether is also one of the largest buyers of US Treasuries in the world. Their last attestation reports $5.2 billion in profits for the first half of 2024 and an all-time high investment in US Treasuries at $97.6 billion as of last July. Of course, they buy Treasuries to back USDT. Now, there is, of course, a history of Tether and their relationship with the US government, but given that they are one of the largest buyers of US Treasuries and given just the sheer size of the company, my point is it's unlikely that there are any major skeletons in the closet that we don't already know about or that the US government doesn't already know about. This excellent piece of journalism that we've read in as much as I'm willing to pay for was refuted almost immediately by Tether after it came out. So as you can see here, tweeted by Tether's CEO, Paolo Ardoino, at Tether, we deal regularly and directly with law enforcement officials to help prevent rogue nations, terrorists, and criminals from misusing USDT. We would know if we are being investigated, as the article falsely claimed. Based on that, we can confirm that the allegations in the article are unequivocally false. Not, it's not as bad as it sounds, not, we're cooperating. No, they are in fact not being investigated at all, and the article is simply false. It is fake news. But what can we learn from this and what can we take away? Well, I think there is a very important message here. This news impacted the market, fake or not, okay? As you can see on the 25th of October, we sold off some 4.65%. This is another classic scenario where there's leverage in the market was feeling greedy. That means that there are long positions that are waiting to become liquidated, okay? Those are positions that have been bought on leverage. Therefore, if the price falls beyond a certain price, that position will be closed automatically. The way a long position is closed, leverage or not, is by selling onto the market, and that increases supply very suddenly. And of course, increased supply with steady or reducing demand, prices come down. That event can also accumulate into a cascade where price coming down means the next round of leverage long positions also becomes liquidated, and so on and so forth. And sure enough, we sold down aggressively. We dipped into liquidity, the first time at 65.8, the second time at 65.5, and then what happened? Bitcoin was bought right back up. Point here is news articles like that in a tinderbox scenario, which to be honest, we see more and more, okay? Market gets excited, fear and greed index goes up, You can see the long leverage come in, and any small little dip in sentiment, any FUD like this, like the Tether story, like the fake Tether story, causes those leverage long positions to get either scared and shaken out, or indeed liquidated and forced to sell. And then the price slips down very rapidly, comes into liquidity and gets bought up by big players like the ETFs, for example. Again, the 25th was another absolutely massive net inflow day into the ETFs, $402 million. And once again, led by BlackRock, $292 million net inflows. Now, as we know from the BlackRock scenario, that doesn't just mean investors buying into the ETF as a proxy for investing into Bitcoin. We know that BlackRock themselves are buying Bitcoin via their own ETF product, specifically their Strategic Income Opportunities and Strategic Global Bond Funds, which we know have been buying shares of IBIT since May. So it is entirely possible when we see FUD news like this, which is so obviously fake, that there's some manipulation going on here. But regardless of that, the opportunity here that we can take advantage of is looking for little pockets of FUD like this in the market when there is that tinderbox situation, when there's too much leverage in the market and when that fear and greed index is creeping up. One leads to the other. It's a snowball effect. Greed goes up, leverage goes up, but that leverage is just waiting to become liquidated. And when you see situations like this, like a little bit of FUD in the market, that can present an excellent opportunity if you understand the broader macro scenario that we're in and, of course, believe in Bitcoin and crypto long term. As always, though, that is not financial advice. That is just my opinion. That being said, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. There's plenty more to come. Catch you in the next one. Bye.